This is the second trigonometry test, and this is question 1. In the diagram, PQ is 4, PR is 5, and QR is 6. PSR is 22 degrees. Find the angle PRQ. PRQ, let's mark with X. Now, PRQ belongs to the triangle PRQ. In PRQ, we only know the 3 sides. We know no angles. This is an indication that you're going to use the cosine rule. The cosine rule is basically whichever angle you have, and we have X, you're going to pick the side opposite it to be small a. So it's going to be X squared equals 6 squared plus 5 squared minus 2 times 6 times 5 cos X. Now, and X, sorry guys, A is actually 4 because we actually know that's number 4 squared. Now, 16 equals 36 plus 25 is 61 minus 60 cos X. A very common mistake is to take the two of these away from each other. Why am I not allowed to take the two of these away from each other, Hugo? Okay guys, so you can't take away 61 minus 60. Why is that, Shane?
Because 60 cos.
60 cos, exactly. It's being 60 multiplied by cos. You can't take them away. Bring the 16 over to the other side. We're going to get 16 minus 61 equals minus 60 cos X. We're expecting an acute angle from the answer. We're going to get minus 45 equals minus 60 cos X. Divide by minus 60 then. You're going to get cos X. What you're next going to do is you're going to cos inverse 45 over 60. Because it's the same thing as minus 45 over 60. So cos inverse 45 divided by 60. And what you're going to get there, so that's 600. Okay. You're going to get 41.4 degrees. X equals 41.4 degrees. Next thing you're going to do then is you know that this here is 41.4 degrees. And by knowing that, you're also going to know 180 minus 41.4. So just take away 180 from it, and what do we get? Anybody? 138.6, okay? So, what we're next going to do, we've done part 1, worth 10 marks. We're now going to do PS. PS is basically, we're going to use the sine rule, okay? Now, to use the sine rule, you need to get what you're looking for. Call PS, let's call it Y. Y divided by sine 138.6 equals 5 divided by sine 22. Now guys, don't round off. Like, you guys round off too quickly. Only round off at the very end. You don't want any decimal errors. Bring it up. Y equals 5 sine 138.6 divided by sine 22. Put all of that one go into your calculator, and what do we get? Can anybody tell me? Anybody got it right? 8.8. That's exactly what's going to be. 8.8 when you type it into the calculator. So 8.8 centimeters. Okay? This is question 2. Solve the equation tan 2 theta equals minus 1 over root 3. Where theta is in degrees, theta element R 0 less than or equal to theta less than or equal to 360. First things first, we're going to put our ASTC, okay, to represent the quadrants of the circle. All sine is positive, tan is positive, cos is positive. Tan is negative. I already know that it's a second quadrant and a fourth quadrant are the two quadrants I'm going to use. One of them is 180 minus the reference angle. The other one is 360 minus the reference angle. There are two answers, is what we're getting at here. Okay, the reference angle, tan R, is equal to 1 over root 3. Shh. What's tan inverse 1 over root 3? Can anybody tell me? Tan inverse 1 divided by root 3. What? 30 degrees. Okay. 30 degrees. This means we're talking about 150 and 330. Now, this means tan 2 theta or 2 theta ends up to be 330, and 2 theta ends up to be 150. Now here's the problem. 2 different answers, but what you're also not taking into consideration is the rotations. You can go 360n around both of them. Now and only now do you divide by 2. So the 2 general answers are theta equals 165 plus 180n, theta equals 75 plus 180n. That is the first answer done. Okay? That's the first part, not the second part. Now, second part. N equals 0 results in 165. N equals 0 here results in 75. N equals 1 resolves in 345. N equals 1 here results in 255. Anything else is too big.
It's still the first answer.
The first answer is completed here. I'm now on part 2. And the answer to part 2 is 75, 165, 255, 345. Okay? Left off. Sean, Dan. Okay guys, shh. Get the reference number ASTC again. ASTC, okay? It's all plus, sines plus, tans plus, cos plus. Cos is positive. We have all and cos. Reference number, cos r equals 1/2. Cos inverse 1/2 equals, is it 60?
Yeah.
Now guys, it's 60 for the first quadrant, but it's going to be 300 for the last quadrant. So now we have 60 and 300. So remember, it's 3 theta. 3 theta equals 60. 3 theta equals 300. Now, what we got to add in is the rotations. 360n plus 360n. What we can then do is, we're not asked for it in degrees, we're very much asked for it in radians. So I'm going to change everything to radians here. So I'm going to get 3 theta ends up to be pi over 3, because that's what 60 degrees is. And it's going to be 2n pi. And this one here is going to be 5 times bigger than that one. So it's going to be 5 pi over 3 plus 2n pi. Now, once again, I haven't got full marks just yet. Got to divide everything by 3. You're going to get pi over 9 plus 2 over 3 n pi. And then I'm going to get 5 pi over 9 plus 2 n pi over 3. What I'm going to do next is going to put in n equals 0 for both of them. And we're going to get is theta equals pi over 9. Theta equals 5 pi over 9. Now, what's my limit, guys? In terms of ninths, my limit is 2 pi, isn't it? I'm not allowed to go above 360. 2 pi in terms of ninths is 18 pi over 9. I'm not allowed to go over 18 pi over 9. That's where I have to stop. So let's see what happens. N equals 1. Now guys, there's a quick way of doing this. I'm going to add 1/9 to 2 thirds. Do you understand? I'm just ignoring the pi's, because n equals 1 this time around. So I'm just going to add on pi of 1/9 to 2 thirds. It's a really quick way of doing it. 1 over 9 plus 2 thirds. Okay, and what we get there is 7 over 9. Okay, one after that. What's that going to be? 11 pi over 9? I'll just check it out. Now guys, I have a really quick way that saves myself time in exams, okay? You can do it, but obviously by calculator. Calculator is time, takes up time. Now, here's the way I go about doing it. Do you see the gap? It's 6 added on, isn't it? And this one here is also 6 added on. This would mean the next answer for n equals 2 is going to be 13 pi over 9. The one after that is going to be 19 pi over 9, which is too big. The one after this one is going to be 17 pi over 9. And the one after that is going to be 23 pi over 9, which is too big. So here's our answer here. Pi over 9, 5 pi over 9, 7 pi over 9, 11 pi over 9, 13 pi over 9, and 17 pi over 9. Diagram shows a circle of radius 15. Okay, and the centre O. The circle contains two shaded sectors with arc length L1 and L2 as shown. The areas of the shaded sectors are equal. Find theta in radians. Well, look, the area is a half r squared theta. Okay, the first one has a radius of 9, so it's going to be a half 9 squared times theta, which is 40.5 theta. The other one, which is in blue, is going to be a half 15 squared 0.9. Can somebody tell me what a half 15 squared 0.9 is? Sorry? 101. Okay, sorry guys, let's check it out as well. Sorry about that. 15 squared multiplied by 0.9 divided by 2. Sorry, exactly what you said, 101.25. Okay. Now, guys, what you're going to do next is you're going to divide it by 40.5 to find out the angle. (5/2). Now, guys, a common mistake here was people added in pi randomly. There's no pi there. It's only when you divide by 180 that you convert into pi. So it's just 5/2 radians. Okay. Now,
it is marked that, or would you?
Yeah, because I'll show you now. 5/2 pi means 5/2 multiplied by. It means multiplied by whatever pi is. So it's actually a bigger number than it'll be 5/2 multiplied by pi, and pi is 3.14. So that actually stands for around 7.5 radians, not 2.5. Okay. Now lads, the ratio of L1 to L2. A few of you are going to say, I got the right answer, why didn't I get the marks? The reason why you got the right answer was a fluke as opposed to anything worthwhile. I'll tell you now, okay? It was this. Theta is 2.5. Okay? Now that I'm done with all this part here, what I can next say is that L equals r theta, which is in the notes. This L here, L1, equals 9 times 2.5. 9 times 2.5, anybody? 22.5. L2 equals 15 times 0.9, which is 13.5. Now guys, it's 22.5 is to 13.5. Now, there's an argument about how to present them, and I may have taken away some marks unnecessarily, probably in Simon's case. Usually when you do ratios are usually expressed as whole numbers. However, in this question it didn't specify, so I was wrong to take away the marks, okay? But I was just trying to form a good habit. Now here's how I do a ratio. I do ratios quite easy. Just get the first number, divide by the second number, and the answer to this is going to be 5/3. That means the ratio is 5:3.
Wait, so you wrote 22.5
You should still break it down. Next part, the ratio of the perimeters of the two shaded sections. Well, this here is 22.5 and this one here is 13.5. This means that the perimeter of the first one is going to be 18 plus 22.5, which is going to be 40.5. The ratio of the second one is going to be 43.5. Once again, very easily done. We'll call it P1 is to P2. Perimeter of the first sector is the perimeter of the second sector. And if you get 40.5, sorry, which one's the longer one again? If you get 40.5 and divide it by 43.5, one ratio divided by the other ratio, you're going to get 27/29. 27 is to 29. Okay, full marks for that. Once again, you could have a different ratio, but you should be really trying to break it down as low as you can into two whole numbers. Okay. Next part after this. Now, very similar to the question we were given in the last test, but one difference. You're not told that the base triangle is 90 degrees. It's not 90 degrees. Therefore, it doesn't obey Pythagoras' theorem. Everybody got that? No Pythagoras theorem, because the bottom is not right angles. Simon. Okay, we're going to draw 3 triangles. First triangle we're going to draw is ABC. Here. Next triangle I'm going to draw is I'm going to draw, ABD. So ACD is here. It's at 90 degrees. ABD is here. It's also at 90 degrees. ABD has an angle of 38. ABD has an angle of 58. Just give me a second, Shane. 58. This one here?
ABC. That's ABC.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, guys. That's a C. And that's a B. Excuse me. ABC and ABD. ABD is an angle of 58. And this one here is an angle of 38. We know the two lengths. The two lengths are 16 for the one that has 38 in it. And it's also 16 here. Now, find AC. Let's call it X. What we're going to do here is, we're going to say that we want the hypotenuse and we have the opposite. Sine 38 equals 16 over X. Okay? X therefore will equal 16 over sine 38. And what is 16 over sine 38? Okay, I think it rounds off to 25.99.
Yeah.
Now remember, guys, 2 decimal places. 25.99 is the answer to part 1. Call this part Y, and therefore we're going to get sine 58 equals 16 over Y. Y therefore equals 16 divided by sine 58. Okay, and that's 18.87. That's for part 2. Now, part 3 it goes find the angle DAC. DAC belongs to this triangle here. Okay, and what I'm going to do is just quickly going to draw it from a front angle view. Now, from a front angle view, A is up here, D and C are down here. That's 20 down here. It's going to be AD along the sides. AD is the answer of part 2, which is 18.87. AC is the answer of part 1, which is 25.59. And what we want to find out the answer of is what is DAC. 99, sorry. 25.99, thank you. Now, what's going to happen here? Okay, so excuse me a second. Okay, come down here. Okay, guys, we're now answering the next part here. Okay, so what's going to go on here is we're going to use the cosine rule. We want to find out this angle here. Let's call it angle M. Okay. A squared equals B squared plus C squared minus 2BC cos A. Okay, this means that 20 squared equals 18.87 squared plus 25.99 squared minus 2 times 18.87 times 25.99. Cos M. Now, gotta do is get very busy on the calculator. It's going to be 20 squared minus the answer of this one here. So we can do it all in one go. Okay, 20 squared minus 18.87 squared minus 25.99 squared Okay, what we're going to get here, 631.557. I'm not going to round off anything at the moment. It's also going to be minus 631.577. Next thing I'm going to do is multiply this part here in the calculator. Okay, it's going to be minus 2, brackets 18.87. Multiply by 25.99. Okay, minus 980.8626. Now, cos m. What I want to do next is I want to divide the red number by this part here. Okay, so it's going to be 631.577 divided by answer. And what we get there is 0.6439, call it. Plus 0.6439 equals cos m. Now we're expecting a acute angle, so let's cos inverse that. Do I have a minus there? So I'm just going to multiply that by minus 1 just to fix it. I'm going to cos inverse the answer. And what we get there is 49.92 degrees. And what does it want m to? Does it want to round it off? 49.92 is perfect. Is it definitely 92? Now guys, I wasn't overly harsh on that. Now you notice I kept it saved in my calculator, so my answer is more accurate than anything going, because I just kept reusing the answer, and I used 3 or 4 places of decimals to make sure there was no problem. Okay? Alright guys.